Racing on Thursday takes place out at Turffontein, racing on the inside track. 8 races on the program, and race number 1 gets underway at 12:30 with the bipod beginning in the first race, 1,000 meters the distance. Joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen, and Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good day, Rahil. All good, my side, obviously, on the back of what was the start of the Triple Crown of Wilkeborst Triple Tiara. Some interesting dynamics and conversations to be had on the back of that big day at Turffontein at the start of February. But yeah, going into this Thursday is obviously nowhere near the same quality. I found it to be a bit of a trappy, a bit of a tricky card out at Turffontein, but hopefully we can steer punters in the right direction. It's another busy weekend with a doubleheader on Friday, Fairview by day, Hollywoodbets Greyville by night, doubleheader on Saturday, and a nice card on Sunday in Maritzburg. So yeah, hopefully we can set ourselves up.
Let's get straight into it. Race number 1 on the card. We've got 2 scratch-ins, scratch numbers 1 and 3. So it's a field that's been reduced to just 8 runners now. Number 7 Pacific tops the boards here, 13-10 in the market. It's Muzieni and Sinjin Gray teaming up with the son of Willow Magic. 33-10 about Dancing Dora. Number 4 Thunderbird is at 4-1, 5-1 about number 2 Radiant Heat, recent maiden winner. And then it is 10-1 and better by those. Now, given that there's quite a bit of, there's a lack of depth in this race here, this horse Oriental Bouquet, I've given her a mention on the show before. She's obviously taken a huge drop in the ratings. She's not currently in the best shape, but I think in this type of race where the average rating is a 63, I wouldn't be surprised if she were to pop up for trifectas and quartets at 20-1.
No, me neither. Look, it's a race that won't take much winning here, Rahil, and if you consider Oriental Bouquet was once a 99 and is running here off a rating of 62, that is a monumental drop. She's not the same filly that she was when she was just shouldered out on Hollywoodbets Durbanville, I think 2 years ago, now 2.5 years ago. But all the same, she is so down in class. She's down in divisions, is Oriental Bouquet. It's not impossible that she gets into the top 3, but she does look held on her last run, which she was entitled to need. I think she'll close the deficit on those horses that were all around her. Pacific, for me, does deserve a place at the top of the boards. Obviously, those 2 scratchings with Nazara in the ether do kind of open this race up because there were 2 big runners. But Pacific on the collateral form, Tanera, finished in front of Dancing Dora, Thunderbird, and Oriental Bouquet, and is quite comfortably weighted to stay in front of all those horses. And again in the run to In the Ether, when she won, finished in front of Together Again and Thunderbird, and is weighted to stay in front of all those horses. I was at Turffontein the day after the World Sports Betting Cape Town met. The Pacific seemed to find his feet right at the end just 11 days ago. He's a fit horse. He comes in a couple of draws as well, which will help his cause. And even though he's not a horse we can be overly confident in a race that probably doesn't allow itself for anyone to be confident in, he is my top selection. 7 Pacific to win, 9 Dancing Dora definitely enters the conversation. She's a 1,000-meter specialist. And then number 6 Oriental Bouquet, all stand out to make trifectas and quartets pay. No doubt she can get into the top 4 and maybe even trouble the top 2 selections.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a tricky start to the bipod if number 7 Pacific doesn't arrive here, because you could get a bit of a jolt here in race number 1. Race number 2 next up. This is an MR84 handicap over the 1,000 meter trip. 1 is the off time start off for the PA. Favorite is number 4 Longsword, weak favorite at 9-2. Number 5 Blaze Away is at 5-1. Number 2 Virginia Beach at 11-2. It is 6-1 about Covert Operator, 7-1 number 3 Address the Nation. Number 9 Kinchin Shah, it's 8-1 and better by those. Alistair, race number 2, start off the PA. How many numbers do you think we need?
3 numbers. Rahil, PA is my suggested bet. I've got 2 bankers, but definitely not in the first leg. 3, 4, and 7. I'm going to comprise the selections in the first leg of the place accumulator. I want to talk about Candace's horse to start. Number 3, Address the Nation. He ran above his rating last time behind Chocolate Soldier. Chocolate Soldier in an absolute ripper against Far Stronger on Saturday at Turffontein. So maybe that sets up number 3, Address the Nation. Candace has been looking to get him over 1,000 meters on the inside track for quite a while, and this is the opportunity. Chase Morjan takes the ride. He is probably one-dimensional in that he's a 1,000-meter specialist. But with that said, when he beats Sakala Atulo, he's still weighted to stay in front of the horse that he beat on that occasion, who carries 64 kilos. Won't be easy for him. Number 4, Longsword, looks like he's still getting the hang of things. He's always been held in fairly high regard by Sean Terry. He won a good rep last time, pretty much from start to finish. He took the lead a long way out and was able to see off the late challenge of Vibe SA. It was a good win as well from number 4, Longsword. I wonder if that's not going to break him through, and he's kind of going to go in a bit of a streak now. He's always hinted at a horse who's got more wins to come. Gavin Larena takes it right on number 4, Longsword. He's going to be a big player, probably the horse that I tip on top. And then number 7, COVID Operator, back from a long layoff. But I'm of the opinion that coming out fresh for a horse that's not the easiest mover might help him a little bit. Muzi Yeni's an interesting jockey engagement for Johan Janse van Vuren. Not a great draw. It does smack of perhaps a little bit of a restart for number 7, COVID Operator. But I respect a horse that comes out fresh, who is a sprinter. And I think that he can run a little bit better than expectations. Well, certainly from a horse that comes back from 280 days off the track. So I do respect his chances. Those are the 3 horses I'm going to work with. Thankfully, it's not a leg of the pick 6 because you would need to load up in the opener if it was.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 7, 3 horses in race number 2. Moving along to race number 3. This is the start of the pick 6 and set to be run over the 1800 meter trip. It is open fillies 90 handicap. 1340 is the off time. You can scratch number 6 free in Seattle. So it's a field of just 6 runners that remain. Destiny of Fire tops the boards here for Gavin Larena and Mike and Matthew de Kock. After winning last time out, you've got number 3, Gabera at 2-1, 7-1 about Vision of Peace, and then it's 16-1 and a better ball. Those Alistair, this filly, Destiny of Fire, I think she's way better than the field that she meets. I know that she's got to give 2.5 kgs to number 3, Gabera, but the question for me is that what did Gabera beat last time out? And this filly, Destiny of Fire, she just seems a lot more streetwise.
I'm in exactly the same boat, although I do think if there is only one horse who can beat Destiny of Fire, it is number 3, Gerbera. But in the pick 6, I would bank in number 1, Destiny of Fire, must be honest. I like the way that she won. Again, you asked what a Gerbera beat last time in the form of Cheerio Baby, who I think is a winner in waiting. You could probably make the same argument for Destiny of Fire beating Carnello, who's an inside track sort of 1450 specialist. And beating Carnello over a mile on the Turffontein standside track would allow itself to put itself a question mark next to the win. But the point is, I think she's very progressive. I think she's improving at a more rapid rate. It wouldn't surprise me to see her at feature race level sooner rather than later. Maybe it tilted the Ormond Ferraris Oaks trial, which is, about 6-7 weeks away or so. I think that could be the type of route that number 1 Destiny of Fire takes, whereas I think Gerbera might only develop a couple of months later and sort of hits her strap. So I think right here, right now, number 1 Destiny of Fire, very hard horse to beat. She won with contemptuous ease the last time. Even her run in the Betway Fillies Mile from a deep draw, where she was one of the faster finishers in the race. Horses like Fiery Pegasus, who ran nicely in the first leg of the Volkerbos Drift Triple Tiara, wasn't all that far in front of number 1 Destiny of Fire. I know World of Alice has been a little bit stop-start since then, but there were some good fillies, certainly better fillies and mares that were in and around Destiny of Fire than the opposition. So I think all of that just points to the Mike and Matthew de Kock train runner with Gavin Larena on board. She'll take all the beating. Like I said, if she does come unstuck, number 3 Gerbera is the only one who I think can knock her over. But right now, I think Destiny of Fire might hold the aces.
Yeah, I think all in here with number 1, Destiny of Fire in race number 3, start off the pick 6. We're either in or we're out in leg number 1. Race number 4, this is an MR80 handicap, and it is over 3,000 meters. 2:15 is the off time. It is the start of Jackpot 1. And number 1 to the rescue, your favorite at 2-1. 5-2 about number 4, Royal Mazarin. Number 5, Only a Poet, is at 4-1. He ran a stinker last time out. It's 6-1 about number 3, Arlington Action, and then it's 6-1 number 6, Demova, and then a fraud at 17-2, scratch number 7, Rainy Season. Alistair, race number 4, what's your thoughts here? Because it's gonna be an interesting race. Horses that haven't been the trip, and the only horse that has been effective over 3,000 meters is number 2, a fraud. The rest of them, it's a question mark.
Very much so, but it's a bit of a stab in the dark. But I think number 3, Arlington Action, could end up being the right one. Craig Zaki takes her out for Tyrone Zaki. No close relation anyway. The son of Apache, now I think a fitter, better, more ready horse than what he has been on his return from a break. He runs like he'll get this distance. He's bred like he'll get this distance. Tyrone Zaki gets him supremely fit. I think from that perspective, number 3, Arlington Action, could just be looking for this. And I'm going to tip him on top in race number 4, the first leg of Jackpot number 1. And I might have a little bit of a bet on the son of the Apache. Number 1, To the Rescue, could very much be in the same boat, though. He's a big galloping son of Give Me the Green Light, who probably underachieved a little bit, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt that because he's a late developer and probably looking for the trip and just getting more mature and more streetwise with age, that number 1 to the rescue might just be coming into his own. He's a horse that clearly found his stride when given positive rides. Last time he hit the front a long way out, was able to keep all the challenges at bay. When he won his anti-penultimate start, Cabello Mazzaniani just threw caution to the wind, took him off to the front, and he was able to keep on finding. So if he can get a soft lead, number 1 to the rescue could be a difficult horse to peg back, and there doesn't seem to be too much pace in the race, so he might get that soft lead and could be a difficult horse to overhaul. So 1 and 3 are going to make up my place accumulator numbers. A little bit more uneasy in the pick 6 because it's hard to write any horse off just because their doubts over so many over the extended trip.
Yeah, include number 2, a fraud, into the play. He could certainly make his presence felt at about 8-1 in the market. But 1 and 3, the top 2 choices for Alistair, and could be some nice value found with number 3, Arlington Action, at 6-1. Moving along to race number 5, 1600 meters the distance. It's an MR80 handicap, 1450 is the off time. Number 6, King of Numbers, is the favorite here, 28-10 into 22-10. Number 3, Don's King at 5-1, 6-1 about number 4, Press On Regardless. It's then 7-1 and better by those. Now, this horse, King of Numbers, ran a very good race last time out, third, 3.5 lengths to Spumante Dolce, given it 2.5 kgs, and that form looks extremely good now after the filly won the Guineas on Saturday.
And to add to that, the penultimate start, he beat Just Var with ease, and Just Var won the final race on Saturday as well. All those form lines look good, and Gavin Lorena takes her out from draw 1. I think he's going to be a hard horse to beat, number 6, King of Numbers. But there's a horse in the race that I'm going to have a big place bet on. What price is number 2, Bloomington, Rahil?
That is 16-1. You can get 3-1 a top 3 place here.
Right, I'm probably going to take swingers with the 2 horses, and I'm going to have 3-1 a place about number 2, Bloomington. I've been waiting for this horse on the inside track for a very long time. His record on the inside track, 4 of his 5 career wins have come on this course, and I was very encouraged with his last start, even though he beat 1 horse home. But that was his best run in a while, less than 4 lengths behind 2 Miles West, and I'd offer the argument that 2 Miles West would win this race, and probably win this race with his head in his chest. Bloomington's ratings come down another 2 pounds. The form lines and the form and the jockey strike of King of Numbers is probably too good to resist. But this, I think number 2, Bloomington, will run into the top 3. He's going to make us money in race number 5. They're the 2 horses I've got in the place accumulator. I might have overplayed it because King of Numbers by right should miss the top 3, but number 2, Bloomington, definitely my value play on the entire card. I think he'll make us some money in the 5th race.
Yeah, nice find there. 16-1 the price about number 2, Bloomington. 3-1 a place. Could be a very good value found on the 8 races on this program out at Turffontein on Thursday. We move along to race number 6, and the 6th race will get underway at 25 past 3, 1450 meters the distance. It's an MR74 handicap, and we've got number 1, Laughing William at 4-1. Number 11, After Hours at 9-2. It's 5-1 about number 5, Sovereign's Call. 11-2, the 8 horse Fast Duty. It's then 7-1 and better by those. Now, Alistair, we'll start with this horse, Laughing William, because he won a very good race last time out, beats in After Hours. He's gone up 4 points for that victory, and After Hours meets him once again here. And I see that After Hours has got, just having a look at the weight here, he's got 55 kgs on the back, so it's a 6 kg difference, but he's only 2 kgs better off. Do you think that's enough to see After Hours turn the form around?
I don't think mathematics counts for Laughing William, to be honest, because of how crazily inconsistent he is. On his last win to the eye, he's got every chance of backing that up and winning again. But if you just look at the sequence of form that he brings into the picture, it's bad run, good run, bad run, win, bad run, good run, bad run, good run, bad one, win. I mean, he's just impossible to gauge. Dennis Schwarz gets on well with him. He's ridden him 6 times for 2 wins and 3 places. To say what you see is what you get is probably unfair with number 1, Laughing William. If he's in the same mood as what he was last time, yes, I think he can defy the weight turnaround with After Hours, even though he still waited to finish in front of After Hours. I don't think 2 kilos is quite enough. But if you take the bad runs, then you'll be totally unsized at number 1, Laughing William. So an inclusion, but I can't give much confidence. The backup, number 11, After Hours, let's start with him. Wherever Laughing William is, After Hours ought to be right there. Draw 1's going to help his cause. fit horse, dangerous horse. He's also effective on the inside track, which I think is also going to maybe add a little length to what he's been putting together. I like the 3 lengths to Bacchus, although in receipt of 7 kilograms on that occasion. Bacchus got a nice penalty for running just in front of midfield on Saturday in the Grade 2 Gauteng Guineas. So from that perspective, number 11 After Hours definitely enters the conversation. He has very well performed, as is quite a few of the others. There's some golden oldies here, but to say that it's value, probably unfair, but there's a horse in this race that I think I've read quite well throughout his career, and that's number 7 Kotinos. He's also not the most genuine around, in that he moves up like he's going to win the race and then doesn't put it to bed. But I like what I saw last time behind Omar Gucci Girl, who carried only 50 kilograms, and there's a form line to King of Numbers where Kotinos was just behind Laughing William and comes in here very well treated, 4.5 kilos better off for, let's call it, a length. Kotinos is very much alive, but in the pick 6 you'll need a few horses. There are a lot that enter the recommendation. It's not a race that I'd be having a 10 out of 10 bet in.
As you were speaking, I was just having a look at the 7 horse Kotinos here. 12 to 1 could be some very good value in this race here, especially from gate number 3, and his last run was encouraging when third behind Omar Gucci Girl, so he could be a factor here in race number 6 at 12 to 1 in the market. Number 7 Kotinos. Race number 7, penultimate race on the card. It's a fillies and mares 93 handicap, 1450 meters the trip, and you can scratch number 2 Soldier's Eye, so it's a field of 9 that remain. Number 4 Andy's Girl is your favorite at 5 to 2. 5 to 1 about number 5 Cape Light, 5 to 1 number 8 Theatre of Life, it is 6 to 1 Pearl in a Crown number 9, and then it is 7 to 1 and Better Ball. Those. What have you done in this leg of the PA, Alistair?
Banker number 4 Andy's Girl here, a hill. Muzi takes her out for Mike and Adam Azzi. If she's fit, and I don't assume she'll be unfit, I think she'll take a lot of beating. On the inside track, 5 starts, 1 win and 4 seconds. I think that hints as being good enough to run into the place accumulator. I don't think the Azzies get them fit, so after an 83-day break, I think that she'll come in a little more fit than your average horse coming back from 83 days off. And even her last run in the Syringa handicap, where she ran 3rd to Lady Fallon. Lady Fallon went on and won the War of Athena handicap, so that form is well franked. She's a very consistent daughter of Fire Away, and I think that it all points to her as beating the horse, as being the horse that they all need to beat. I think that her best runs are better than anyone else in this race. I think it opens up in behind the argument that you can make for quite a few of the other horses is there. If you gave me any horse to consider, I wouldn't be able to rule them out. I think number 8 Theatre of Life could be quite interesting. Raymond Danielson takes it out for Philip and Yannick Vermeulen. Last time was the suicide mission from draw 15 out of 15. She used up far too much. That was always going to be her running style, but there was too much competition for the lead. She faded right out of it. And I think that she could represent a horse that can run into the top 4. But number 4 Andy's Girl, going to be a place accumulator banker for me.
That's race 7, the 4 Andy's Girl. Race 8, race 8, the final race on the day. It is the fillies and mares 76 handicap, 1450 meters a trip once again. And in the final race, you can scratch number 8 Mocha Macaroon. Number 5 Accept Cookies at 22 to 10, 9 to 2 about number 7 Quasi Cat. It is 5 to 1 Mighty Goddess, 11 to 2 about number 1 Boom Boom. It's an 8 to 1 and Better Ball. Those. Now, final race on the day. Your thoughts here?
Accept Cookies, very hard horse to beat. Cherry Hill, Roy Magner and Gavin Arena team up. I thought a good last run to Miss Leah. Miss Leah has proven herself to be not too far off the best 3-year-old fillies in Joburg. I don't think she's got the capabilities of winning a grade 1, but I think that she's got the capabilities of sort of being effective at that sort of grade 2, grade 3 and definitely listed level. If that's going to be my opinion on Miss Leah, then that's going to bring number 5 Accept Cookies into the picture. We get well served by the Hollywood team before we do these previews with early market movers, and she was one of 2 market movers well before 24 hours before the race meeting kicked off. And with Gavin Arena on board, there's going to be every opportunity. Her breeding also suggests that the more she races, the further she goes, the better she'll be. 3rd run after a break, she comes off a mini break herself, but I think that she's on the right path, and a few other fillies in this race could also get onto the right path, but I think that she's sort of set ahead of all those other progressive horses in the race. So number 5 Accept Cookies is going to be my idea of the winner. Number 4 Mighty Goddess is back up. She had a busy year last year, but she largely ran very well, and she might have just been on weary legs towards the end with those two perhaps below par runs. Rested, if she doesn't need the run, I think she's also good enough to give things a shake. It could be an opportunity to double up in the place accumulator, because I've gone both of them. I've always got time for number 4, Mighty Goddess. She's done me a few favors along the way. So 4 and 5 for me in the final leg of the place accumulator. I'm looking for other dangers. Boom Boom would possibly be an inclusion. Quasi Cat might have a little bit more to come, but that's pretty much where I'll put the line in the sand with the final race.
4 and 5, the 2 horses in race number 8 for Alistair. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Alistair will take us through his suggested bet, a place accumulator that begins with the running of race number 2 at 1:05 with an MR84 handicap over the 1,000 meter trip. Alistair, take it away.
So the place accumulator, first leg, 3 at destination, 4 longsword, 7 covert operator, by bank number 1 Destiny of Fire, by 1 and 3 to the rescue and Arlington Action. Then number 2 Bloomington and 6 King of Numbers. Bloomington going to be my big play on the day to run into the top 3. Then gone 1, 7 and 11 Laughing William Cotinos and After Hours by banker number 4 Andy's Girl, second banker of the place accumulator. And then to finish things off, 4 and 5 Mighty Goddess and Accept Cookies.
That is the place accumulator for racing on Thursday out at Turffontein. Alistair, thanks very much. Looking forward to the meeting on Thursday, and have a wonderful week ahead.
Cheers, Raheel. Same to you, same to the entire team, to all the racing followers out there. The pools have been good of late since the World Sports Winning Cape Town met, so let's continue that trend and keep hopefully winning.
All the best with racing on Thursday.